Today I am going over chapter 2. I might hit chapter 3 as well. I did one attempt to record this already. It turned out the microphone wasn't working. But other than that, I got through it very quickly, very naturally, not a flaw at all, and the microphone wasn't working. Isn't it wonderful how easy technology makes our lives? Anyhow, so I might actually hit chapter 3 if I feel that I get through chapter 2 quickly. But I'm only planning to do chapter 2 tonight. So chapter 2 begins with 3 verses, and chapter 1 took us up through the 6th day and the creation of humanity. Chapter 2, those first 3 verses, start in on the 7th day, and God rests and sanctifies the 7th day. And I think there's a few "it was good" in theirs. Um, and then, just like that, with verse 4, we kind of start over. I often hear this referred to as a second creation account, and I'll go ahead and call it the second account. Um, so it feels almost like these first 3 verses belong back in chapter 1, and somehow the chapter divider kind of crept upwards a bit. Okay, so in the second account, we essentially zoom back to the creation of humans, presumably on the 6th day, but it doesn't actually say that. Um, and chapter 1 only devoted a few verses to the creation of humans, but this is pretty much what chapter 2 is all about. Um, and to summarize, Adam is made first, and then the Garden of Eden, which wasn't even mentioned in chapter 1, that gets made and gets placed in the east, and there's some rivers that I'll talk about in a bit. God puts Adam in the garden to basically be a gardener, and tells him he can eat of anything except the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Um, and then tries to make a helper for Adam. God produces every animal out of clay for Adam to inspect, and Adam evaluates these to see how well they would do as a helper, names them in the process, and rejects all of the animals. Adam decides none of them would be good helpers, so instead, God puts Adam to sleep, takes out a rib, turns that rib into the first woman, and heals Adam up. Okay, so on to my first criterion.